All right, so what we'll do is I'll introduce the mayor. The mayor will say a few things. I will recap the incident from Sunday, make a few comments, and then if there are some questions, I can ask some, but not all, being that, the case is still openly being investigated. So with that, I'll introduce Mayor Ed Brown.
Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent Bernhardt. Yeah, I'm sad, disappointed, and even angry to be here yet again at a press conference talking about a senseless crime and the loss of a youth. I met with a wonderful family of the deceased, and they spent considerable time telling me how special he was, and he wasn't a troublemaker or not a bad kid at all. He had a bright future. So that saddens me. Every time we lose someone like that, our community is weakened. But I'm happy that we have the best police force in Delaware County that will hold people accountable and solve these crimes, and I'm really happy that the culprit is in custody. But we got to figure out another way to resolve conflict. Guns are not the answer, and it's just senseless. It breaks my heart. I have 3 children myself, and just the horror of imagining the loss of a child is just terrible. So I'm happy that it's been solved, and I'm happy that we can bring the family just a little measure of peace and a little measure of comfort. So I'd like to turn it back over to Superintendent Bernhardt, who can give you more details about the crime itself.
Thanks, Mayor. We're here today talking about a tragedy that should have never happened. A senseless act of gun violence took a youth's life on Sunday. Khalief Webster, a 16-year-old child, is dead. Michael Nixon, a 17-year-old child, has been charged with first-degree murder as an adult and is in custody. We should be standing here talking about Khalief Webster's future, right? His career, his plans, a family, all that life should have had to offer. But instead, we're here talking about a tragedy that should have never occurred. The incident occurred on Sunday at around 3 p.m. Uniformed Patrol got a call for shots fired and located a male who was later discovered lying on the ground at Long Lane. That male was taken to Penn Presbyterian Hospital where he was pronounced deceased. There we learned the identity of Khalief Webster, the 16-year-old male that I speak about. The group to my right and the group to my left, I can't say enough about the men and women of this police department. First, the Uniformed Patrol. Their response that day, responding there, aiding the victim in his time of being shot, getting Khalief Webster to the hospital. The detectives were showing up, setting up a crime scene, interviewing countless witnesses, and almost within hours, we were able, because of the detectives in this police department and the investments that the mayor has made in this police department with our real-time crime center. A suspect was developed within hours of this tragedy that occurred on Long Lane. The detectives, hard work, interviewing witnesses, working with the district attorney's office. Late Monday, we knew who we were looking for. We knew we were looking for 17-year-old Michael Nixon of Upper Darby Township. Yesterday, Tuesday, we executed 2 search warrants in Upper Darby Township, one on the unit block in North State and one on the unit block of Oxford Street in Upper Darby Township. As a result of those 2 search warrants, a lot of information came forward, and we were able to gather 2 other witnesses, family members, that were able to provide us a lot of information in detail as to where Michael Nixon was. Last night, late last night, Michael Nixon walked in the front door of police headquarters and surrendered. Throughout the night, these detectives worked all night. He was, with the help of the district attorney's office, like I said, he's been charged with first-degree murder, and he has been placed in a detention center, and he's being charged as an adult for the tragic death of Khalief Webster, the senseless act of gun violence, like the mayor said earlier. This community is devastated by the irresponsible actions of Michael Nixon. 2 families have been shattered. And Khalief Webster, like I said, will never get to enjoy life. Will never get to go to college, will never have a family, will never be able to do all the things that he should have been able to do if it wasn't for the cowardly act of Michael Nixon. That's what we have. That's the information, the events of Sunday. They're the comments. I don't know if anybody has any questions. They could be limited, like I said, because it's an ongoing investigation.
Did Michael give a motive when he turned himself in?
I can't go into what was said or wasn't said while he was being interviewed, because the investigation's still going on.
There was some sort of argument leading up to it, and any idea what was going on?
That information was gathered Sunday at the initial incident, the call from interview from witnesses that there was an argument between the 2 males. That is still being investigated.
Did they know each other?
I can't confirm that. Again, the investigation is still ongoing.
There's surveillance video, sorry, real quick, surveillance video of ordeal. Could you guys confirm that person is Michael in that video?
If I follow you correctly, the images that we released on Sunday and Monday and the video, yes, that is Michael Nixon who has been charged, yes.
Was it a registered gun?
I won't go into the comments about that. The investigation is still ongoing.
Is Nixon also a student at Upper Darby High School?
He was a student at Upper Darby High School.
No longer.
I don't believe he's still enrolled.
Are you looking at this as something that may have been targeted, or did these two just kind of meet by chance?
I'm not ready to comment on that yet. Again, the investigation is still going on, so we're not sure of what the interaction was and if they knew each other.
Did he seem remorseful when he turned himself in?
He didn't have much to say when he was brought in and when he was interviewed, so that's what I'll say about that right now.
Was he alone?
He was alone when he came into police headquarters.
Said two family members were brought in originally through the search warrant?
Correct. 2 family members were brought in and have cooperated with police as far as where Michael Nixon was yesterday in the past 2 days when we were looking for him.
Do you expect any other charges?
There could be other people charging this, those that were responsible for keeping Michael Nixon hidden for a period of time. Like I said, the investigation is still ongoing.
Can you speak, Mayor Brown mentioned this a little bit, but can you speak to your conversations with the family, how they're doing after the announcement of the arrest?
The family is devastated, like you would expect. Myself and the command staff met with the family Sunday after the incident. We met with them Monday. I was there with them this morning at 6 a.m. to give them the news that Michael Nixon had been arrested and he's being charged with the first-degree murder of their son. There really are no words. They don't have any words to describe their devastation. A great family, a family that does all the right things. They were there. Their child went out to play like every child should, and he didn't come home.
This is the second student that has died in the district because of gun violence. Any comment to that?
I won't comment that. I'll let the school district respond to that. The first incident was in the city of Philadelphia. Anybody else?
You can't talk about the weapon, that wasn't a fab, you know.
Correct, Peter. I won't get into anything about the weapon at this point. Anyone else? No? All right. Thank you all. I appreciate you coming.